Good evening. Hello, hello, hello.
Hi, everyone.
Welcome to Sunday Night Satsang with John and
Michelle, hi.
Michelle. Good evening. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for dedicating an hour or so of your time to some spiritual work, consciousness, being here now, presence. In fact, the most important part of the Satsang is actually connecting with life.
Yeah.
To be alive right here, right now. That's the most sacred thing we can ever do, is to connect with life. Life and the divine is one and the same. And these satsangs are really about just anchoring our awareness more in alignment with life and less in alignment with our mind which chases past and future.
Yeah, and it sets us up for the week. It really helps to anchor
ourselves,
that in so that we have a preparation for the week. So thanks for joining us.
Thank you. And thank you for the hearts that we're getting already. Thank you, folks. Thanks. We love getting the hearts, and it helps get this message out if you press the like and the share button. It does help. And also let us know where you are watching from. We like to know who we're speaking to and where you are from. So let us know. That's beautiful. Thank you.
Thank you.
And tonight we're going to be looking at the grace of gratitude. The grace of gratitude. So we're going to look at how we can invoke grace into our lives.
The powerful state.
Yeah, that's right. So let's start this evening, as we always do, by withdrawing our mind from all other times and all other places and becoming firmly present in the body, here and now. So you got some astrology to share as well. Some important stuff, actually. Very important stuff. So do stick around for Michelle's astrology update. We have a nice, powerful alignment coming up.
We have tomorrow, actually.
Very powerful. Yeah. So just settle back into your chairs or on the floor where you're sitting or on the bed where you're lying. Just gently maybe close your eyes and just become aware of the life that's within you here and now. This life is sacred. This life is presence. And as we align ourselves with life, we become more enlivened. So let's just start this evening by taking a deep breath in, deep breath in. And as we breathe out, we let go of all the thoughts about the day, all the problems and challenges that we carry, and we release them with the out breath. Take a second, very deep breath in. Deep breath. And once again, as we breathe out, we release, we surrender, we let go. And the third deep breath in, that's taking the breath of life into us, enlivening our body. And the surrender with the out breath is the releasing, the letting go, and dropping down deeper into our bodies. Letting go of all that doesn't serve us in this moment, here and now. Withdrawing our mind from all other places, all other times, and just being here in this moment, the only moment that is real. Let's just bring our awareness into the physical body. Become aware of where your hands are resting right now. Become aware of any sensations in the palms of your hands. Right in the center of the palm, there's a powerful vortex of energy. One of the major meridians in the body is in the palms of the hands. Just see in this moment if you can bring your awareness fully into that point, in the center of your hands. Let's just bring our awareness now down to the further reaches of the body, our toes. Become aware of your toes. Become aware of your feet. And for a moment, in your awareness, become aware of your hands and your feet at the same moment, same time. Left and right, hands and feet, feet and hands. Notice what happens to your awareness when you make that connection. You become more embodied, more present, more here and now. Let's bring our awareness back to the breath and becoming aware of the slight change in temperature between the in-breath and the out-breath, and the out-breath and the in-breath through your nostrils. And as we focus our awareness on that breath, in the same time we bring into our awareness our hands and our feet. So we are bringing in the body into our consciousness in this moment. The breath is so sacred. Let's just honor it with our awareness. And as we're aware of our breath, our hands and our feet, let's become aware of the chair that we're sitting on. Let's feel that sensation coming into our body right now. And as we do that, let us include everything that's coming into our ears right now. Become aware of all the sounds you can hear, particularly the faint sounds, the faraway sounds. Notice the mind's propensity to label the sounds. Labeling is not important though. Just become aware of the sound directly, without any concepts filtering the sound itself. And now let's bring our awareness to the center of our chest, to our hearts. And with every in-breath, let's feel our hearts expanding. And with every out-breath, let us release all that blocks us from love. All the filters, all the prejudices that block us from love. Let's just release that with every out-breath. And with every in-breath, we expand our heart. We expand our heart in this moment to include all those that we love. We expand our heart in this moment to include all those on this call tonight. We expand our heart to include all those that we may have a conflict with or a challenge. We expand our heart to include Mother Gaia, planet Earth, and all who live on her, all the creatures, all the oceans, all the crystals, all the trees, flowers, and insects. Feel your heart embracing all of life in this moment, expanding out to embrace the stars, the moon and sun, and all other life forms on any other planets out there. Feel your heart expanding to encompass the whole of the universe in one field of awareness, one field of love. And now take another deep breath in. Bring your awareness fully into your body. Take another deep breath in, right down to your toes and to the top of your head. And we breathe out all that no longer serves us in this moment. With our awareness situated in our heart, we feel a sense of gratitude for being here tonight with this beautiful group of people. And we just say a quiet thank you to life for bringing you here tonight. Take another deep breath in and a long releasing breath out. And when you're ready, gently, softly open your eyes and just see how softer your environment looks right now. Thank you for being here tonight. Thanks,
John.
Thank you. Thank you.
Welcome, everyone. I see tiny little pictures of you on the top of the screen.
We like to know who we're talking to. So as I said earlier, if you'd like to just type us a message, we do answer all the messages after the call.
Yes, we do.
So we do. So send us a message, tell us where you are watching from. Thank you. And if you find what we have to share of value, press the like and the share button, and we love getting those hearts. Thank you for the hearts.
Thank you.
What's happening in the stars?
Well, there's a very big alignment. I spoke about it in my video, that we've just had a new moon, but we've got probably the biggest alignment of the year happening, and it's been forming for a while. So an alignment doesn't just happen on a certain day. It sort of builds and it forms. And this alignment is happening tomorrow, which is when it becomes exact. And it'll be exact for most of the week. And it's really about, if I could try and explain the energy of it, it's got to do with awakening, definitely, because it's the planet of change and awakening, Uranus, which is in a very, very close connection to Mars, which is action. And the other thing it's right next to is the north node of the moon, which is about our destiny. So we can see it in many different ways. I think that what we can feel at the moment, a lot of people, there's a lot of stuck energy around. There's a lot of fixed energy. And in astrology, when you draw up a chart, you get different patterns. And the pattern that we've got at the moment is what we call a grand cross. And a grand cross is it can feel a little bit like you're going around in a box, and you're just going around from corner to corner, and you're not really getting anywhere very quickly. And it can feel quite heavy, and it can feel quite stuck. And there can be a tendency with that to react, to rebel, to project, to cause a revolution in some cases, because there's this feeling of there's a lot of shifting in the air, but nothing's really moving. And so when I see a chart like that in a human, I'll usually say that if you could imagine that you've got a red box and you're in it, it feels like that you kind of running from one thing to the next, and sort of no sooner have you sorted that out, then you get bounced over to the next corner, and then to the next corner, and the next corner. And because you're in it, you can't see it. So what I usually say when I counsel a person with a grand cross is, if you lift yourself up and look down on the box, so if you get perspective from the situation itself, then you're able to actually liberate yourself from that stuckness. Or you can actually say, if you go beneath the box, so if you go in and you go underneath all the noise, you also liberate yourself. And so this is a time, if you're feeling it, actually, for some people, they could be feeling it quite an invigorating energy. That is another way that you can feel it. So if you feel invigorated and motivated and full of vuma, that's great. Use that in terms of moving towards really where you want to be in your life. But if you're not feeling that, just see this as a time where we are shifting to higher levels of consciousness, and a lot of our stuff is coming up, a lot of unconscious stuff is coming up, a lot of stuff from the past might be coming up. There might be blocks, there might be misunderstandings, There's a lot of energy this week, is what I'm saying. So this hasn't happened for hundreds and hundreds of years, this particular alignment. So nobody really knows what the energy of it is, because it hasn't happened before. But I know the energy of each one. So it's really, it really is a week to look at what is important to you, and to focus on that, to focus on giving that time. So if presence is important to you, to focus on that. If your spiritual life is important, focus on that. Focus on the little things. So that will actually help you to just bring yourself into alignment and step out of what could feel a bit like chaos. And anything nurturing, because there's a lot of fixed energy, a lot of sort of slightly heavy energy. So anything you can do to just enliven you, to just get out of it. We went for a walk just now, just around the block, and it just cleared the cobwebs, So those small things are really going to be necessary this week, I reckon.
Yeah, I'm going for a walk again. It connects you with nature, and that's such a beautiful, powerful way of clearing the mind. Because in truth, what is blocked at the moment, and what is frustrated, and what is bound, is the mind. And the mind always wants to have certainty, and it doesn't like being frustrated.
And wants to know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
When, preferably.
And yet nature, on the other hand, never feels frustrated. Nature just is. So when we go for a walk and maybe just connect with nature in some way, we take in some of that surrenderedness that nature has, because we've spoken about the time that we're going through is very much a time of letting go of all attachments, all expectations, even letting go of physical stuff at the moment, homes, for example, and relationships and careers. These are all the letting go, and it does take a certain amount of surrender to get us through this. And also trust that life, this energy that breathes you, that beats your heart, that digests your food, this intelligence has got a plan for you. You are an intricate part of the universe. And as such, there is a destiny for you. There is a fabric, and you're an intricate and a very important thread in that beautiful tapestry. And just because life may not be moving in the direction or at the speed that you necessarily think should be happening in this moment, doesn't mean it's wrong. Maybe the biggest thing we need to learn right now is patience.
Yeah, the other thing about the energy of this moment is it's where we feel safe and where we feel secure, and what we've placed our focus on in terms of our safety and security and our purpose. So if we feel and we have placed our attention on the outer world and achievement and where we're going to go next and our accomplishments, then these times that we're in is really testing that. For me, it's almost saying it's not about that. And that the new earth that everybody's been talking about, because this is the new earth. This is the emergence of a new earth. Perhaps isn't on the outside. Perhaps the new earth is inside us. It's with our choices. It's what we choose to focus on. It's where we choose to put our attention, as opposed to the way we may have lived our lives, which is focused on the outside and defined ourselves by, I can do this, therefore I am. I am a so-and-so, therefore I am valuable. These three are in the sign of Taurus, which is about value. Where is your value? Do you find it from outside, or do you find it from another place? Because if we find it from outside, that's getting harder and harder for many people, because that's not necessarily flowing the way we want it to. The outside, the ego wants it to flow.
The outside world is in a state of instability.
Huge instability.
And when the outside world is in a state of instability, there's a good opportunity then for you to step back into reality, which is inside you, and find the stability within you. Find that, as Michelle has spoken about before, your taproot, coming into the present moment, because the present moment is always stable. The present moment is always still. It's always here. It's always certain. It's just the outside circumstances, the things of life, are very unstable. But in fact, life itself, which is in you, is very stable. It's just the forms that it takes is unstable. But you spoke about this being a lot of energy at the moment, a lot of power.
A lot of power.
And
There's
the question...
a lot of power to shift.
Yeah.
It's a shifting energy. It's a potential, literally, in this next week, to shift those patterns, to see the patterns, to acknowledge the patterns, not to blame anybody for the patterns, but to see them and to say, this is an opportunity to shift. It's an opportunity to choose differently. Because it is choice, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. We have the power of focusing our awareness, focusing our attention, and that is choice as to where we put our attention. And this power, if there is a lot of energy around at the moment, which there is, we can choose where we want to focus that energy. And the topic for tonight is grace and how that manifests through gratitude. So let's look at that for a moment. I mean, what is grace? My definition, or my way of looking at grace, is that grace... So if we talk quite a bit about the power of presence, and any of you who've done work with us will know that is the focus of all of our work, because it's just the most powerful energy there is in all of creation is presence. Now, from our perspective, from our human dualistic perspective, presence has a masculine energy and a feminine energy. In truth, it doesn't, because it's non-dual. But from our dualistic perspective, it seems to have that energy. And what we need as humans at the moment is to connect with the feminine aspect of presence. And the feminine aspect of presence is the surrendered, is the holding energy, is the coming back energy. And that's the real work. And that is the surrendering our propensity for time, propensity to live in past and future, and coming back into presence. That's the feminine aspect, which I believe that's where our work lies at the moment, in rekindling that feminine energy within us all. However, grace from this perspective has a masculine energy. And the masculine energy is the outgoing, the doing energy. Now, that's not our work. That is not our work at all. Our work is to come back and hold the space. But from that space, you will find that miracles unfold in your life, that situations, circumstances, events, and people just unfold in incredibly miraculous ways. That is grace. As we hold this open portal of presence, grace flows through that portal of presence and does the work, does the transformation for us. And the most powerful way that we can focus energy is through the vibration and the frequency of gratitude. Don't you agree?
Most definitely. I think I know it's actually the easiest way to change our state of being, our feelings. Because it's accessible to anybody at any time. You can be in the depths of despair. You can be ill. You can be in pain. You can be in grief. And if you can connect with a few things to be grateful for, it will and does shift your state.
Yeah.
And that's mastery, I think, when we are able to shift our state. It's not that you're not acknowledging it, but you know that you have the ability to shift that state into something else. That's mastery.
Yeah, and Sadhguru in that clip that we watched the other day, Sadhguru was saying his internal environment, his internal reality is 100% his responsibility. His external environment isn't necessarily within his control, but his internal environment is. And for all of us, our internal state is 100% our responsibility. It's our feelings, our thoughts, they're ours. And we can choose thoughts and emotions that empower us rather than disempower us. That's really the power that we have. And I know the external world is very much focused on a lot of negativity, which the mind just loves. I mean, the mind just picks up on all negativity. It's like it's it's like this negative teaching tool that the mind has. It looks for what's wrong in you and what's wrong in the world around you. But you can put your hands on the steering wheel of your own attention and focus on what is right. What is right in the world around you right now? What is right with yourself right now? And one of the most powerful ways of doing that is to look for things to be grateful for. And we use the word things, but there might not even be physical objects to be grateful for. Just the being alive right now. I mean, that surely breathing, having air to breathe in right now. I mean, at the moment they don't charge us for air yet, do they?
No, they don't.
So it's still free.
No, not yet.
So we can be grateful for this free air that we're taking in right now. And that shifts our state quicker than anything else. And when we're in a state of gratitude, we become receptive to all the gifts that life has to offer us in that moment. One of the questions which people often ask me is who are we being grateful to? Who are we being thankful for?
For me, it's just I'm grateful to life. Really, that's the gratitude.
Yeah,
it's the gratitude to life, for this life.
Yeah, and I would add to that and say you don't have to be grateful to anyone. I mean, life is the best thing because it's not a somethingness; it's an energy. But just be grateful. It's a vibration. It's a frequency within you that counts. Not necessarily going and thanking someone on the outside. You can do that. It's beautiful to be thankful for the world around you and what it gives you, and to say thank you. That's beautiful and wonderful. I'm not negating that. But the most important part is what you feel and what you hold in your heart. I mean, I've seen people saying thank you, and you can see there is no gratitude in them at the moment. Not at all. And that isn't the gratitude that we're speaking about tonight. We're speaking about a field of vibration, and we do know that the universe works through laws of attraction. And as we start to refocus our awareness from what is wrong with the world and what is wrong with ourselves and what is wrong with our life to what is right and what is beautiful in this moment, so that frequency of vibration changes within us. And that power not only starts to attract more of what we're grateful for, which it does, but in that moment there's a field, a ripple that goes out into the universe and changes the entire fabric of the universe. You are so powerful. If you knew how powerful you were, you'd be very cautious as to the thoughts that you think and the feelings that you feel. They are the very fabric of the physical reality that we have. And feeling grateful is a responsibility that you have for all of life, for every single human being, for every planet, every star, is influenced by that feeling of gratitude that we have.
Yeah, and I think they've done quite a lot of research on gratitude, and they've discovered that people that have a gratitude practice, so either they start each day by just running through some things that they're grateful for, or for life, or whatever you want to be. And I mean, I do that, and it's definitely shifts state. So if you haven't done that, do it, because you'll see that it's remarkable how fast it can shift you. But I think in order to do that, you have to be present, because you have to be aware. You have to become aware. It's self-inquiry. You need to become aware of when you're not grateful, that where your mind actually goes, the patterns and the ruts and the loops that it goes around and around in. And when you see that, it's just to notice it and say, yo, I've gone around in a loop here. I'm going around the same little circle. And I can choose to choose a different one. I can choose to choose a different thought. And so if you make that a thought of gratitude, an expression of gratitude, it will get you out of that loop. So they reckon that it rewires your brain, gratitude. Just gratitude. Just that. So when you start your day or you end your day, or both, with being grateful, and even better, writing down what you're grateful for.
Yeah, in our workshops we always part of the homework during the workshop is to keep a gratitude journal, and before you go to sleep at night you have to write down 10 things you're grateful for, and first thing in the morning you have to write another 10 things. Well, they don't have to be different, but just write another list of 10 things. And it's amazing what happens in people's awareness when they start keeping a gratitude journal. It really does refocus your mind. And last thing at night, what you're doing is you're creating an attitude of gratitude before you go into and marinate for 8 hours, 7-8 hours in the sleep state. Was very, very powerful for creating your future experiences. And again, first thing in the morning when you wake up, again, another very powerful portal into your creative energy. And if you start your day with that frequency and that vibration of gratitude, I absolutely guarantee your day will change to meet that frequency within you.
Yeah, well, it's the law, isn't it? The law of frequency. It's the law of vibration.
Yeah.
It has to.
Yeah.
And I think a lot of us, when we wake up in the morning, that mind kicks in. And it's the worries and it's the concerns and it's possibly about the dreams and what do they mean and what do you have to do today and are you going to be able to do it? And so if you can see that and consciously shift into running through, just, I'm grateful for the pillow underneath my head.
Yeah.
That's a good one to
Yeah.
start with. The
Grateful for the
the
bed.
sheets. And then you can keep going.
Yeah.
That I've got feet to walk downstairs or walk to the kitchen and make tea or coffee.
Be grateful you've got electricity.
Grateful that you've got it. We're very grateful in this country. But yes, grateful that you've got electricity. Grateful that you've got running water out of the tap.
Yeah.
Grateful that you've got a roof over your head.
Yeah.
So those are all the things. But just if you can just see it and notice it and notice the thoughts and notice those patterns, because this is about breaking patterns, this energy that we're dealing with, and it's the whole year that this has been around. This is just becoming very exact now. Is what is that? What are those patterns? And they're being shown to us. What are the patterns, and how can we shift them? And gratitude is one of the ways, I believe, of shifting them.
Yeah, this is a time of awakening. It's a time of shifting from a third or fourth dimensional awareness into a higher level of awareness, what's called the fifth dimension or the sixth dimension. And what keeps us locked in the third or fourth dimension are patterns of consciousness. And it's like old tapes playing in the subconscious mind. And every time something occurs, we go down those same pathways. And it is, this is the power of presence, is that presence rewires the brain very, very quickly. And the more we're able to hold presence in our awareness, the more we activate those healing patterns within our subconscious mind, and it enables us to react differently to situations and circumstances within our life. Instead of going down those old patterns, someone says something to you, and then you react in the old way that you've always reacted. Now, as you practice holding presence and allowing grace to flow through you, that grace heals and transforms those old tapes that were playing in the subconscious mind with no understanding, no therapy.
No. And you're not doing anything.
You're not doing anything at all. But there is a healing that takes place through that power of presence, the power of grace. And the most powerful way of changing those patterns is to start to put your hands on the steering wheel of your focus and start to focus on what is right in your life. That is very, very powerful. Start to notice what is right with the people you meet. What is right with your career that you're busy involved with. What is right with the weather. I remember listening to someone years ago and they were saying that whatever the weather is, be grateful that we got weather. Because having weather means that we've got an atmosphere around the earth. If we didn't have an atmosphere, we couldn't have weather. So whatever the weather is, where the mind, for example, will have its prejudices and its expectations and its desires, and will only give thanks for a certain type of weather that we're having. Maybe it's sunny, and you be grateful for that. But whatever the weather is, be grateful for it. this part of this process that we're going through is to let go of the need for things to be other than what they are in this moment. Need blocks grace. That's one big thing. The need for situations and circumstances to be anything other than what they are is a huge restriction. It's a closing the tap, and that blocks grace from flowing into our lives. And this process is really about allowing, accepting, and appreciating life as it is in this moment. Then you will find a power coming through you, the power of grace, which will transform the situations and circumstances that you find yourself with. But just a little note there, footnote, you're not doing this to manipulate the world of things around you. Don't enter into a state of presence or gratitude with the intention of manipulating people and events around you to change. That's not going to get you anywhere at all, because that is coming from your mind. This opening and allowing grace to flow into your life and into the universe through you is very much a process of surrendering your will and aligning that flow of life with life itself through accepting, through allowing, and through appreciating.
And I think that, I think these times are also showing us, we've spoken a lot and people are writing about it all the time, about the veil being lifted on our planet. The veil being lifted and secrets being exposed and things being brought into the open. And I think it's to realize that it's our patterns that are being brought into the open as well. That's what's being unveiled. And that's why so many people are battling right now. Because either you distract yourself and you pretend that they're not there and you carry on going around the same circle, or you look at them. And looking at them isn't for sissies, because you're taking responsibility for them then. And you're saying, yeah, that's a pattern. This is a loop that my mind does. This is a reactive pattern that I do. This is my chronic dissatisfaction or chronic wanting something else to be better than it is. So I think that's also part of this, is to actually be really honest with ourselves. And that takes courage to do that. Because a lot of people don't want to do that because they would rather blame somebody else or the world or the situation for their own unhappiness and their own dissatisfaction or their own pain. So I think it just came to me there that the lifting of the veil is actually lifting the veil on our own unconscious behavior.
Yeah, it is.
Without blame. So not going into blame about it. Not saying, oh, you're an idiot, you're unconscious, look, you're going around the same circle. No, I'm going around the same circle. I can choose differently now, this moment, just now. So I think that's also part of this shift. It's a shift in consciousness.
Yeah. And wanting things to be different, wanting has sort of two energies. The one wanting the best for everyone, that there's nothing wrong with that. That's a passive sort of wanting. But the wanting that is damaging is the need. When you want because there's a need within you for it to be different, the need is the one that blocks grace from flowing in your life. And that really is undone. That need is dissolved in the light of gratitude, because when you start to really notice all the good around you now, you lessen the need for things to be other than what they are. But the sitting in the back is still the wanting for a more beautiful world, or for a more harmonious world, or for a more equitable world. Yeah, that's great, as long as it doesn't have that need within it. Because need is all egoic. It all comes from the ego wanting to be more than what it is. And the ego will always want more. That's the nature of the ego. You, in truth, the real you, is already complete. You're already perfect. In the good book it says that we were made in the image and similitude of the divine. Not that we were in process of being made. Not that we're going to be made if we behave this way, or if we give money to this particular organization or whatever. No, we are already it. We're already made in the image. And so this process is surrendering all that blocks us from seeing our own magnificence. And as we start to see the truth of who we really are, the beauty, the magnificence, the sacredness of who we are, so we start to see that in everyone we meet, and everything we meet, every tree we meet, every bush we meet, every blade of grass, every weather pattern. We see that beauty in that, because that's a reflection of who we really are. And as we change this state, as Michelle said earlier, we change the state within us, we change the state of the whole universe. And let's rather change it for the better than for the worst in ways, for example, when we go into anger, or when we go into fear, or when we go into anxiety, we're doing it for the whole universe. And when we go into grace and gratitude, we're also doing it for the whole universe.
Yeah, when we make a conscious choice, we're doing it for the whole universe as well, because that ripples out. It ripples out into the universe. I believe that's the new earth. And it's a very different way of looking at life. And we're sort of babes in the wood, if you like, because it's new. None of us have done this before. It's a new way of being in the world. It's not the same way of defining ourselves in the world. So we define ourselves that if I do that, then I'll be okay. If that happens, then I'll be happy. And it's a shift around. No, this is where I am now. So how can I be in gratitude for this moment now? Because that will shift my consciousness, essentially. Presence and gratitude. I think just those two things, which is not that difficult, but the mind will tell you that it is.
Yeah, the mind will make a whole story.
All sorts of stories why you can't do that.
Yeah.
And and I mean, I know, because of my own, yes, but. So yes, I'll breathe now, but there's that. And yes, but what about tomorrow? And what about that we haven't sorted out? And that's the mind. And that's what's been shown very clearly right now.
Yeah. And as I said earlier, there's immense power around at the moment, particularly this next week. We are, each one of us, powerful beyond measure. And we have so been anesthetized through education, through religion, through all sorts of other means to forget our own power. And this process that we're going through right now is not a getting anything. We're not reaching for anything. It's actually a stepping back into our true, authentic being, which I see, thank you, Rex, you came up with the words I am. Stepping back into the I amness. The I amness is the source and the very creator of reality. So if you say, for example, I am angry or I'm depressed, you're creating more of that, not only for yourself, but for all of creation. Where when you come from I am grateful, I am joyful, I'm seeing beauty in this moment, that's the energy that you're adding to your creative energy. So it's really important for us now to start to take responsibility for our thoughts and our feelings. This process of awakening is awakening from the dream of the mind to the realization of our true beingness. It's a realization, which means to see with real eyes, to choose to see the world differently, different to how we used to be, to how we used to see it, to see through the veil and to see the truth, the beingness, the beauty beyond the mind, what the mind has constructed. And that's the power we have within us. I think, as I said before, I think in the next few years, we're going to realize that we've made it all up. With our mind, with our thoughts, with our emotions, we've made it all up. And if we've made it all up, well, we can create again. And the way we start to do that is through stepping back into the power of presence and start using the focus of our attention, and gratitude and grace will flow, will change the vibration of what we experience in the future. No doubt about that.
I believe so too. That's where we're at. We're in the middle of it.
We're in the process of awakening. Everyone's awakening. It's not for sissies.
No. Because
it does mean we have to take full responsibility for what we have created and what we're creating in the present moment, here and now. With every thought is a brick. Yep. It's a brick in the matrix. Every feeling we have is the energy that does the creation. So what bricks are you using today, and what bricks are you going to use tomorrow, and what energy you're going to use to build a new world? And yes, it does seem a huge responsibility for us as humans. But as we start to realize this grace, this power of grace, and we start to step back into the space of non-doing, the space of holding, the space of presence, this grace will come in, and we will gradually start to work more and more from the level of the miraculous rather than from the level of manipulation, which is the way that the mind works. Believe in miracles. Miracles are real, and that is the power that we have within us. Yeah. And talking of activating your power, we have a new month coming up now in our InnerSpace group. If you want to join our online platform, we've got InnerSpace, which is a community.
Yeah, we're working with this energy, and we're working with the energy of the heart this month.
Yeah.
It's your heart song.
Heart song.
What is your
heart
unique
song?
Heart song? What is your song into the world? How are you expressing your unique energy into the world? What is it? How is it? And how can you be more of who you are and express that?
Each one of us, if you think of how many humans there are on Earth right now, 7.8 billion or whatever, every single one of us is completely unique. And we've got a unique role to play in the unfoldment of this universe. Every one of us. And the heart song, which is the topic that we've molded the month of August around, is the way of you singing your true life purpose into the world in a beautiful way. So if you want to join, you go to journeysofawakening.com and sign up. You can join for 1 month, you can join for a whole year. If you join for the year, you get 2 months free. Join us. Yeah. And we meet up twice a month. Our first meeting this month is on Tuesday night. We've got a beautiful program set up for InnerSpace for this month. And then the other plug, while we're doing a plug, is in September, the 16th to the 20th, we're back in Hogsback. We're going to be running our annual Hogsback retreat there. And Hogsback is the most amazing, powerful energy. And if any of you are feeling held back by certain blocks that may be sitting in your subconscious mind or in your emotional body, then do join us for the Hogsback retreat, because just the energy of the place is powerful enough to shift those blocks. Very, very powerful.
Powerful place, and it's a powerful time that we spend. Spend a lot of time in presence, nature, make some art. We do some deep sharing and deep shifting.
Deep shifting. I think deep shifting is a big
That's
one.
That's why we go all the way there. It takes us forever to get there.
Yeah.
And we could do it just up the road, but we go to Hogsback because there's something very, very powerful about that place. Yeah. So it's the 16th.
16th to the so from Friday till the Tuesday. Yeah. And the theme that we're going to be looking at is the male-female energy. Yeah. Bringing balance to the male and female energy within each of us. So we'll be looking at what is the male energy in females and males. What is that male energy, and what is the female energy, and how can we bring balance? How can we integrate those two energies, the male and the female? And the world, the way it's going at the moment, seems to be totally confused about the male and female energy.
Yes, so we're going to look at that.
We're going to look at that.
We're going to celebrate the male and the female.
Yeah.
And we're going to celebrate the integration of the male and female.
Yeah.
In that
and how we can use those energies.
We're also going to celebrate flowers and spring, because that's the time of the year that Hogsback generally bursts out in song.
Yeah. So if you would like to shift your life, use the energy of spring, well, it's spring in the southern hemisphere, and shift your life. Yeah, email us, and it's awake@journeysofawakening.com.
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, so
you can lead us out, and then we've got a lovely affirmation for you as well, which will carry you through this very, very powerful week ahead of us.
Right, let's settle in if you're not settled in already, and take a nice, beautiful, slow, deep breath in, and then a smooth, long, slow breath out. On the next breath, breathe in for 4 counts, all the way up to the top of your chest. And breathe out for 6. Slowing the breath down. Slowing it down, slowing it down, slowing it down. Let's do that once more. Breathing in for 4. And letting it all go. Breathing it all out for 6. And as you breathe out, soften your shoulders. Allow your body to soften. And now just place gentle awareness on that breath as it moves in and out on its own accord. And bring the awareness of gratitude for the breath in. This breath that's been there since your very first breath. Feel the gratitude that you feel for this breath. And the next one that just comes, it just happens without you having to do anything really. And become aware of the smells that you can smell as you breathe in. And the gift of smell. The ability to smell the aromas around you. Now hear what you can hear in your surroundings right now. Open up those beautiful ears. This incredible gift that we have to hear. Nature sounds, whispers, songs, bird song. Isn't that a gift? Feel the gratitude that you have for the sense of hearing. Now let's focus on our eyes and the gift that we have of sight. Everything you see every day, all day. The richness that adds to your life. Feel the gratitude growing inside you, in your heart. As it expands your heart, softens you, opens you. And bring focus to the sense of touch. You might want to stroke your hand or rub your fingers together. Get a sense of touch. Getting a sense of the body, this incredible body. It's a miracle. This body really is a miracle. The ability to walk around, do things, touch things, make things. It really is miraculous. Feel the gratitude that you have for this body as it is now. Whatever age or state you're in, just bring gratitude in for this body. Bring awareness to the people that you have, the close people in your life. And feel the gratitude that you feel for those people. These special souls that have chosen to spend their lives with you, aligned with you, in partnership with you, in friendship with you. Feel the gratitude in your heart for each one of them, even the tricky ones. Bring gratitude for your home, the home that you're in right now, the chair that you're sitting on right now, the bed. This roof that you have over your head. The food that you have in your home. The water that comes out of your taps. Different life forms that you might have in and around your home. The service that you give to the world, whatever that may be. And it goes on. Allow this feeling of gratitude to sit right inside the middle of your heart, like a beautiful golden sun. Let that golden sun just melt away any disappointment, any resentment, any anxiety, any melancholy, any longing. And let's replace it with real deep gratitude for this moment in our lives, for this moment that we can spend together on a Sunday. Feel that light, that golden light filling you up, filling up your whole body. And knowing as you fill it up, it just naturally radiates out and ripples into the universe. And let's set an intention on this very powerful occasion to make gratitude and presence a priority this week. Whenever you can think of it, just give thanks for something. If your mind starts to wander, bring it back and give thanks just for the breath. And feel the presence inside you right now. Feel what you're feeling in this moment. How do you feel? What's happening in your body? Are you feeling open? Are you feeling relaxed? Are you feeling alive? Bring your focus back to your heart. If you want to, you can bring your hands up in gratitude for everything in this moment. Take a deep breath in. And out. And another deep, beautiful breath in. And out. And when you're ready, you can open your eyes gently.
Thank you, that was beautiful.
Good.
Wasn't that beautiful? How do you feel right now? Let us know in the comments box how you feel right now. We have a lovely affirmation for tonight.
I think that one's very powerful.
Yeah.
For right now. A change in feeling is a change in destiny.
And it's an orange card, and orange is the second chakra up, and that's your creative energy. So we can use the power of this week in the creative way to change our feelings, because as we change how we feel, we change what we meet.
Yes.
We change our destiny. A change in feeling is a change in destiny. I'll photograph that and I'll put it up on the Facebook page, and I'll put a link there as well to the InnerSpace new month, which you're welcome to join, and also the details of the Hogsback retreat.
Yes.
Thank you for being with us tonight. Thank you for the lovely comments. Thank you for the hearts. And if you enjoyed tonight, please won't you just press the like button now and share it. Thanks
everyone.
Look forward to catching up with you again.
Have a beautiful week.
Yeah.
Stay sane.
Lots of love.